All right, today we're going to dive into a secret that kind of flips everything we think we know about progress and perfection. We're talking about rust, and, the weird reason why an 800-year-old suit of armor is way tougher than that brand new chair sitting on your patio. I mean, this quote just nails it, right? It's so absurd when you think about it. We live in this age of incredible technology and advanced metallurgy, but our modern metal just seems designed to fall apart. And at the same time, artifacts from the so-called Dark Ages are still hanging around, just stubbornly refusing to decay. So what's their secret?
So yeah, let's start with a problem we all know way too well, the drama queen chair. It's really just a symbol for any modern metal thing that basically gives up on life the second it gets a little wet.
Seriously, just think about it for a second. Your tools, your car, railings, furniture, they are all in this constant losing battle against corrosion. We build our entire world with steel, this amazing alloy that we value for its purity and its strength. But it turns out that very purity is its Achilles heel. It leads to this super frustrating cycle of rust, repair, and eventually replacement. And this, right here, this is the big puzzle. On one hand, you've got our modern, pure steel, which is just incredibly fragile when it faces the elements. And on the other, you have medieval iron, lumpy, inconsistent, and absolutely packed with impurities that somehow lasts for centuries. How is that even possible? To find the answer, we have to go back in time. And we're not going to a sterile laboratory, we're heading straight into the smoke and the heat of a medieval forge. See, the secret wasn't about creating some perfect metal, it was all about embracing the mess.
Okay, so let's imagine a blacksmith. We'll just call him Edrich. Now, Edrich knows absolutely nothing about molecular chemistry or oxidation rates. He just knows his craft, a skill that's been passed down for generations. And what's amazing is that his dirty, hands-on process was completely by accident, creating a super material.
His process was, on the surface, pretty straightforward. First, he'd smelt raw iron ore in a furnace. This didn't create a nice, clean, liquid metal like we do today. Nope. It made a spongy, lumpy mass called a bloom. Now this is the crucial part. His next step was to hammer that bloom, over and over and over again, folding it and shaping it. He wasn't trying to purify it, he was just trying to make it strong. And in doing that, he was trapping all the junk from the smelting process deep inside the iron itself.
And that junk has a name, slag. It's a mix of silica, alumina, and other oxides. Basically, it's glassy, non-metallic gunk. In modern steelmaking, we spend a ton of energy and money to get rid of every last speck of slag. It's a contaminant, it's waste. But for Edrich, it was just an unavoidable part of the iron. And, as we're about to see, it was a secret weapon.
So how did this trapped slag, along with a few other happy accidents, create such an incredible shield against the elements? Well, it turns out all those so-called flaws actually became its greatest strengths.
It wasn't just one thing either. It was this amazing combination of 3 different layers of protection that made this iron so tough. You had a physical barrier on the inside, a chemical skin on the outside, and then a final practical polish right on top.
So here's the deal with our modern, pure steel. If you look at it on a microscopic level, it's full of tiny little fissures and grain boundaries. Think of these as open doors just inviting in water and oxygen, the 2 things you need to make rust. And once they get inside, the corrosion just starts eating the metal from the inside out.
And this is where Edrich's method was just accidental genius. When he hammered and folded that iron, he wasn't just shaping it. He was stretching out those little bits of slag into long, thin, glassy layers. These layers ran all through the metal, and they physically sealed off those microscopic cracks. Rust couldn't even get started because all the pathways were blocked by this incredible built-in sealant.
But an internal glass shield wasn't even the whole story. There was another happy accident at play. As it turns out, a lot of the ancient iron ores they were using were naturally high in an element called phosphorus.
And this high phosphorus content did something amazing. It encouraged the iron to form a very specific kind of protective layer on its surface. It's called a patina. This is not that flaky orange rust you're thinking of. No way. This was a dark, dense, and incredibly stable film of iron hydrogen phosphate. It was like a uniform, non-reactive chemical skin that actively shielded the raw iron underneath from the air.
And then finally, there was just good old-fashioned practical maintenance. A knight or a farmer would regularly rub down their armor and their tools with tallow, or, pork grease. This super simple act added one last water-repelling layer. So you had the internal slag, the external chemical patina, and a top coat of grease. It was a true triple threat defense.
So the lesson from the forge is pretty clear, right? This amazing combination of flaws, the slag, the phosphorus, it all came together to create a material far more durable than the perfect alloys we work so hard to produce today.
1,600. Just let that number sink in for a minute. 1,600 years. An object has been standing outside, exposed to the elements for that long. What on earth could possibly survive that?
Well, this is it, the Iron Pillar of Delhi. It was put up in the 4th century, and it has weathered the intense monsoon rains of India for over a millennium and a half, with barely a spot of rust on it. Scientists have studied this thing for decades, and the secret is that exact same high phosphorus content we were just talking about. It created that nearly impenetrable protective patina. It is the ultimate proof of this ancient accidental alchemy.
And really, that just leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? In our relentless modern quest for purity and perfection, what else have we lost along the way? What other robust, resilient flaws have we engineered out of our world only to replace them with something cleaner, purer, and a whole lot more fragile? It's a powerful lesson to learn from an old, dirty forge.